Hi. Now, sorry if I'm not looking at the camera here. This is the first time I've made a proper video on an iMac, so I'm a bit nervous, so hello. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a drama that I watch, which isn't that well known. So, I'm looking at the camera now. Hello. I'm going to stop doing that now. I want to talk about this drama that I watch. It isn't that well known because I wanted more people to find out about it, because it's a good programme and there aren't any trailers or anything, and it's shown at a really weird time. So anyway, it's on BBC Switch. It's called The Cut. I'm not really sure what I'm going to say about it. I haven't planned this at all, so I'm just going to see what comes to mind. Anyway, The Cut is basically, it's a bit like Skins, only less explicit, and I think it's slightly more realistic. And basically, I'm just going to tell you a bit about the characters. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but just a few of them, like the ones that are in the series at the start. At the start, there were 6 main characters. There was Jay, who is kind of a plot device for the audience because he's kind of an out-of-towner. So he comes in to this scenario with all the other characters and meets them. So how his new experiences with them are our new experiences with them, and he comes there because he's received some kind of weird information about his past and stuff like that. And he falls in love with this girl called Marla, who's a bit of a weird one. She's played by Laura. I was going to mention the actors as well. Jay's played by Samuel Benter, and Marla is played by someone called Lara Goodison. Most of these people aren't that well known. Samuel Benter played Will Aston in Power Rangers, which I haven't watched, but I saw on IMDb or Wikipedia or something like that. And yeah, Lara, she's not well known, but she's been in something called Shipwrecked. Sorry about that if you saw that. My iMac screen went weird, but I'm not sure if you saw that or not, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, Marla is a bit of a weird one. She's basically grown up with 2 really incompetent parents. So she is a self-harmer. She is a bit of a bitch sometimes, but she's a good person at heart. And Marla has a brother called Stephen who is horrible. I'm sorry, lots of the girls like him. I think it's because he's good looking. But I don't see what they see in him because he's just horrible, basically. He's got even more problems than his sister because basically their parents are bad. They're bad parents. And not bad in a funny way. Well, sometimes bad in a funny way, but basically it's a drama, not a comedy. So, but anyway, Stephen has been through a lot of girlfriends, and he hasn't really treated any of them well. And for most of the series, his love interest is a girl called Olive Loxley, who is probably the most normal character in the series. And basically, like, I think a lot of the girls who like the show feel some kind of connection with Olive because she's a normal teenage girl. Personally, I find her a bit annoying. The girl that plays her is called Billy North. Oh, Stephen's played by Matt Cain, by the way. But the girl that plays Olive is called Billy North, who's the only one I've seen in something else. She was in one episode of something called Living It on CBBC a couple of years ago. But and the actress that plays her is really good, but I don't like the character that much. I did at the start, but she's kind of become a bit of a whiner, and she never learns. So yeah. And Olive lives with her sister, called Tony, and they live in a cafe, which Tony runs. And Tony is part of the time, like, she comes across some of the time as a right controlling cow, and like in one of the first episodes, like, she's trying to get Olive to work in the cafe, and Olive says, "I'm not doing it," and Tony just goes, "Yes, you are!" And, like, she doesn't try to persuade her or anything, she just goes, "Yes, you are," but yeah, she cares about her sister. And their parents aren't around. Olive has a photograph of them, but it's never been revealed what happened to their parents, so maybe in the 3rd series. And then there is, hold on, I've got Jay, Marla, Olive, Stephen, Tony, and then there's Mac, who is Marla and Stephen's dad, who is messed up. He's a bit stupid. He's trying to buy all the houses in the street. And, well, quite near the end of series 1, something is revealed about him, something quite exciting. It's good when you find that out. I'm not going to tell you what it is, in case you start watching it. But yes, he seems to be a good character. He tries to be a good parent, but he's not really that good. And I was just going to tell you about the main characters at the start of the show, but I'm also going to talk about my favourite character, because she's a legend, and that is Finn. She's in the first episode, but in the first couple of episodes she's more of a recurring role, and then she becomes much more important later in Series 1. But basically, she's Jay's best... Sorry, I keep wriggling around like this, it's really annoying. But she's Jay's best friend from back home, and she's played by someone called Alice Southwood, who... She was in the Doctor Who episode The Waters of Mars very briefly. She played Susie. The captain had a granddaughter that was destined to do great things later on, and we see a picture of her as an adult in a newspaper, and that's Alice Southwood. But anyway, personally I find Alice Southwood very, very attractive, but maybe that's just me. But anyway, I like her character because her character's a cool dude, really. She basically says what she means and means what she says. I try to be a bit like her character, Finn. And one thing I particularly like about her character is she says to Stephen, when she first meets him, oh, this is the one you left on the platform. Oh, they try and go off to Paris, by the way, it's a long story. But anyway, she says, this is the one you left on the platform. I haven't met the other one, but well done. This one's a loser. And Olive goes, say that to my face. And she just goes, okay, loser. Which is what I love, because she's just straight talking. And I'm quite straight talking, so... Yeah, and... Well, in Series 2 quite a lot more characters are introduced, but I'm not going to go into that. There have been 2 series so far, and there's definitely going to be a 3rd one. Anyway, basically, they air the episodes on Saturday. It's on BBC Switch. They air the episodes early on Saturday afternoons on BBC 2, which I don't like, because it's good enough to get BBC 1 prime time. Each episode is 25 minutes long. But in the week before, they air them on the website in 5-minute chunks, which is a bit weird. Now, the thing is, the ones on the website are on the whole time, but the full-length ones are only on iPlayer at the time that they're on, which is annoying because they're much better than the 5-minute ones. Anyway, I made this video because I wanted to raise awareness of The Cut, because it's not very well known, and I think more people should take a look. I think the website is bbc.co.uk/switch/The Cut or something like that, but just Google The Cut, because you can find it that way and click on episodes and click weeks 1 to 15, and then you can go from series 1. It's only the 5-minute clips, unfortunately, but they're better than nothing. And there's definitely going to be a 3rd series, but no one's sure about after that, because BBC Switch is going to close. And I don't really mind if BBC Switch closes, because I find most of their stuff quite cheesy, particularly the 519 show, which I don't really like. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera again, am I? But I think if we can save The Cut, which I really want to do, or someone called Music Girl 320 has made a blog called savethecut.blogspot.com, which I contribute to. So you should probably look on that, because she's trying to save The Cut, and I think she's doing quite a good job. But yeah, so it's a really good series. I think it's slightly better than Skins, like I said before. The actors aren't so good, but I think they kind of make up the storylines as they go along. So it's a bit more spontaneous, and the episodes aren't too perfect, which I quite like. In fact, when they start a series, I don't think the actors actually... When they start airing a series, I don't think the actors actually know how the series is going to end. They haven't even read the scripts yet at that point. But yes, it's a great series. I've said that quite too many times. And you're probably thinking I'm really annoying now, but who cares? I'm like Finn, I don't care what people think of me. But, what was I going to say? I think more people should watch it, and I won't tell you anything more about it, but because I'm probably boring you, and also because I don't want to give too much away. But I'll also say that the ending for Series 2 is dramatic, and someone dies. Someone dies, I'll say that. If you haven't watched it, I don't want to spoil it, because it's dramatic when the person dies, but it's not the person you would think of. But anyway, check out the website I told you about. I don't know how to make a hyperlink up here, but just, if you didn't catch it, just scroll back and check out the blog as well. savethecut.blogspot.com. Anyway, this is my first video. Hopefully I've done quite well, so see you soon.